Welcome to the Bass Fundamentals course. This is a free course I made for my students to use, but it's free and it's online, so if you want to use it, you can use it. Lesson 1, major scales with sharps in. I teach how to learn the major scale first with sharps in the key or in the scale, major scales containing sharps, and then major scales containing flats. But this first lesson is major scales containing sharps. And essentially how it works is here's C major, that's 0, no sharps or flats, all white notes on the keyboard. And everything to the right of C, you add one sharp at a time. So G major has 1 sharp, D major has 2 sharps, A major has 3 sharps, E major has 4, and B has 5. And then, what are the sharps? Okay, remember C is 0, G has 1 sharp, it's F sharp. So you always count from F sharp. So every major scale with sharps in will have an F sharp. G major has 1 sharp, F sharp. D major has 2 sharps because C is 0, 1, 2. And then it's going to be F sharp and C sharp. A major has 3 sharps because C is 0, 1, 2, 3 sharps. And it's F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. So you can see every major scale with sharps in will have an F sharp because that's where you count what the sharps are. You count from F sharp. Okay, now once we get through that, obviously you can spend weeks getting that down and understanding it. You want to be able to ask yourself these questions. How many sharps are in this key? What sharps are they? And then you play and say the scale. So if we did this with C major, how many sharps are in this key? 0. And then what sharps are there? There aren't any. And then I say and play the scale. So I would play C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. Next, G major has 1 sharp, it's F sharp. So then I would say and play the scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Or down here, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, so you go through that process for everything with sharps in. You learn your major scales with sharps in. Okay, then I always suggest coming up with bass lines with whatever scale you're in or creating melodies, but I will go over that if you take a lesson with me. I want to go through this now. Playing the major scale in the following ways. So let's take D flat major. Okay, let's stick to sharp keys. Let's go B major. The classic. I say this is the classic. Okay, can you play this B major scale with the classic shape? Here's B over here. We played it here as well. Here's B over here. All notes in one position. Okay, I play the classic, but I add in the notes that are available to me on the G string. What's cool is index, ring, pinky, and then when you add the notes on the G string, index, ring, pinky again. And there is one more note we can add without shifting, which is the 7th over here below the octave. We can grab it. So this is all notes in one position. Okay, let's do it in D major. Okay, 3 note per string. I love this. This is this. So this is D major, 3 note per string. Now I'm getting all the way above the 5th above the octave. I play to the octave and I keep going until I get the 5th above the octave. So now without shifting, I can get all the way to the 5th above the octave with this 3 note per string shape. Okay. Next, backwards, starting on pinky. So now we got to play our major scale like this, kind of behind the pinky. It's pretty cool. And lots of people don't practice this, but it's a cool shape to know. It makes you play different stuff. Across 2 octaves, okay, let's do this in A. This is where I teach to always shift on the index finger. Let's do it in B. Okay. Across one string, that's where you take a scale, let's say G, and you learn to play it across one string. You really get to understand the steps in the scale. Okay, I then suggest playing along to a song using one of these scale patterns you've learned. So this song by Beyonce, Cuff It, it's in the key of G major. I suggest picking one chord and then using the G major scale, for instance 3 note per string, to play fills. So on this E, I would try use that new scale I learned and the fingerings to play fills. And obviously we go deep into this in the lessons. Lesson 2, flat keys and triads. So now we look at everything to the left of C anti-clockwise on the cycle of fifths or circle of fourths. So C is 0, F has 1 flat, B flat. For all these flat keys you go right to left plus 1. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. F is the only key with flats in that does not have the word flat in its name. It's just F. All our other flat keys coming around the circle this way, we say B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. Okay, so remember, F major has 1 flat, it's B flat. B flat has 2 flats, B flat, E flat. E flat has 3 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat. A flat has 4 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. And you go through the same process as the first lesson. You say to yourself, how many flats are in the key of F major? 1. What is it? B flat. Say and play the scale. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Okay? And then you play your major scales with flats in the same ways as before. You're going to play your classic. You're going to play 3 note per string. Pinky, starting on the pinky. And 2 octave major scale. So now you would do the same as you did with the sharp keys, you do it with the flat keys. Next, triads, okay? Here's the formula to know all triads in any major key, diatonic triads. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. You got to say this a million times till you never forget. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Then you learn your triad shapes, okay? First in one position. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C. And as you can see, there was major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Now, if we did this in the key of D, we would take the fact we know our D major scale is 2 sharps, F sharp, C sharp. We say our major scale, D major, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And then we put those triad shapes on each of these scale degrees. 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished. Now we're taking the fact we know our major scale in all keys, and we're putting these major and minor and diminished triad shapes and this order of them on top of the scale. Now we learn every triad in every key. We're living the dream. Now, I suggest learning to play that in one position. So this is in one position. But I also suggest learning it across one string. So we do this in lessons. D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp diminished D. Okay? I really like suggesting my students also do this. Playing it across your E string or your A string starting on your index finger. So let's do it in F. That's it done. So F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, E diminished, F. So that is all triads starting on the index finger. And I'm only using my index and pinky for every single shape except for E, which diminished, which is cool. Look, index, pinky, index, index, pinky, index, index, pinky, and etc. Here's your 6 main triad types. We go over these. And I suggest being able to play these from every single root. So you stay on the same root and you play all of these triads. So G major, G minor, G diminished, G augmented, G sus2, G sus4, B flat major, B flat minor, B flat diminished, B flat augmented, B flat sus2, B flat sus4. So what we've done with triads there, we've learned to play all triads in one position, we've learned to play all triads across one string, and we've learned to play all triads starting on the same root note. When you do this, you really understand diatonic triads as well as triad formulas and how to play them off of one root note. Of course, we're going in an order that I think is really logical. Next is seventh chords. Okay. We do the same thing with triads. Instead of playing these 3-note chords, we're now playing seventh chords, which are 4-note chords. All diatonic seventh chords in any major key. Major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, flat 5. So that's the order of diatonic seventh chords. And again, we just learn these shapes and we learn to place them on our major scale. We take the formula for the seventh chords and we take the fact we know our major scales, we stick them together. Okay. And as you can see, based on learning the triads, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, well, we know the first 3 notes of every single one of these seventh chords. That's why we do it in this order. Let's do this. B flat major 7. Let's play these across one string with the index finger. I really like that. Same as we did with the triads. Let's do this in G major. G major 7. A minor 7. B minor 7. C major 7. D dominant 7. E minor 7. F sharp half diminished. G. Let's do that starting on the A string in the key of C. C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, flat 5, C major 7. Okay, cool. And then I made this little thing here. You can fill it in so you learn everything. You know how to say it and see it. I suggest then applying these to a song. And what's cool about the song is it changes keys, so you're not just kind of stuck in one key. You're learning to play these from anywhere at any time. So this chord progression, A flat major 7, you see there's some nice interesting chords there. Here is like tens of ways to vary the order of your seventh chord so you don't get stuck just practicing this everywhere. And this is tough stuff and it's very helpful. My students love it. I love to practice that. There's just a course I did on reading for bass. If you want to check that out, you'll see the video there. Pentatonics, okay. Pentatonics, I go deep into pentatonics because people get stuck thinking pentatonics is like this simple thing for making bass lines. Major pentatonic goes on a major chord and minor pentatonic goes on a minor chord. And that's very true. That's the most common way to use them for basses. It sounds amazing, but you can go so deep with pentatonics. So we go pretty deep. Let's just look at our pentatonic shapes on A. Now I wrote the shape 1 consists of a minor third and 3 tones. You'll see what I mean when I play it. Here's your A, and here's the minor pentatonic scale. Look, minor third, on the next string tone, on the next string a tone, on the next string a tone. So once we see, oh, this minor pentatonic shape consists of a minor third and tones. Wow, okay, look at shape 2. Tone, minor third, tone. Look at shape 3. Tone, 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 minor third. Look at shape 4. Minor third, tone, tone. Look at the last shape, shape 5. Tone, tone, minor third. You see, just with those 2 intervals, we can play every pentatonic in our minor pentatonic scale. So it's kind of like modes of the pentatonic scale. This is minor pentatonic, and when you start minor pentatonic on the second note, you play what's called major pentatonic. So either you can say here's A minor pentatonic and the 5 shapes of A minor pentatonic, or you can say here's A minor pentatonic and C major pentatonic, and it's kind of interchangeable depending on what chord is playing or how you want to use it. But so, I suggest playing up 1, down 1, up 1, down 1, up 1, down, you're done. Okay? I also suggest creating motifs, short melodies, and moving it through the 5 shapes. So check it out. This is an example. Okay? So all I did was up on this string, and the same thing again. I'm going up on this to the next string, and I'm doing it again. Do-do-da, do-do-da. So I don't think about all the intervals, and this is a dominant 7 sharp 9, 11 mixed with the flat 13 of the 74. I just think up and to the next string. So when I go to the next shape, I do the same. Next shape. You see, that's so much simpler to play music now. I'm not thinking of theory all the time. You cannot think about so much theory and play, but you can think of rhythm and dynamics in real time. So I suggest practicing like that. We go very deep into that in lessons. We spend a lot of time with that. Next thing is one of my favorite things, pentatonics of chord tones. So as an example, C major 7, where I'm saying you can play a minor pentatonic of the 7th, the 3rd, and the 6th. So here's C major 7, and the 7th is B. Oh, so on C major 7, I can play B minor pentatonic. How cool does that sound? I can also play minor pentatonic of the 3rd, E minor pentatonic. C major 7, C, E is the 3rd, E minor pentatonic. Sounds beautiful. And I give so many options here, and I wrote them out in a bunch of different keys. This is one of my favorite things to teach. My students love it. It changes the way you play, because now when I see C major 7 on a chord chart or in a song, instead of being stuck to C major pentatonic, I'm going to also think I played E minor pentatonic and B minor pentatonic. I wrote all of that out. I suggest playing in a song and with all the variations. So Get Lucky by Daft Punk, I say here on that first chord, so here's Get Lucky. On the B minor, I say, you see I played F sharp minor pentatonic. That was a suggestion there. I also said A major pentatonic. So on the B minor, okay. So see how cool that sounds? So you see I'm singing and playing it because I want to be able to internalize in my own ears, not just hit the notes and think that will work. No, I want to be able to hear how A major pentatonic sounds on B, you see? And there's a whole bunch of options there, and it's beautiful. There's a video I made on that goes deep into that. Modes, okay, modes is a heavy one. I need time with the student to really go over this, or a longer video. I'm just showing you the course. We learn our modes in every key, in every position, and how to really understand, how to really use it, and how to really practice it. So for instance, F major 7, if you're always playing F major scale, when you learn this, you'll realize, oh, F major 7 could be chord 4, could mean I could play Lydian. And for a different mood. It's beautiful. Modes are amazing. Once you understand using them in context, changes a lot about playing. It's beautiful. Bunch of questions there. This is really good. Ascend, descend, ascend, descend. For practicing modes, just as a little look into this, let's say we took E flat Lydian, and you're always practicing it up and down like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on each string. I'm saying try 2, 1, 3. I'm saying try 3, 2, or not 3, 2, 1. Let's say 2, 3, 1. And when you add some rhythm to this, already it starts to sound like music instead of just I'm ascending and descending Lydian forever. Okay, cool. And there's a bunch of those, and I go into a lot of variations. You see here groups of 3s and 5, swapping these, like playing 2, 1 to 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2 to 1 to 3, like going through every permutation. Then we get into spread triads, spread 7th chords. I love this. This is understanding chords on the bass the same way piano players do. Instead of always playing closed position triads, we start getting into, you see, these beautiful voicings that sound really nice on the bass. So instead of just getting stuck into this, no, proper chord voicings that do work on bass. We do that for triads, major, minor, diminished, and seventh chords. These are very cool. This is like G major 7 spread. It's beautiful. You can go really deep into that. Then I'm going to just show you what's coming up next. Triad pairs and hexatonics. Triad pairs are awesome for kind of playing some really cool lines. Hexatonics are just 6-note scales. So for instance, D major 7, I can play. I played A major hexatonic. I go deep into that. Lots of triad pairs examples. Lots of stuff. Dealing with dominant chords. So just the fact that dominant chords have tension, which means we can create even more tension by playing out stuff and resolving. And I kind of give a whole list of stuff I like to play on dominant chords, from the most kind of simple to hear and common, and then it gets into some pretty out there stuff. I do these in a few different keys just so you can like understand that, and then I discuss using this on a chord progression. Harmonic minor and melodic minor, these are two other worlds, you know, not as commonly used as our major scale and modes. These are like two other planets that you learn the modes of all of these. I don't go like crazy deep on that, but I just focus on the ones that seem to be the most useful based on my experience. Bass chords, I go very deep on this because I love bass chords. This to me is a very interesting lesson. You can work on it for the rest of your life. It's taking specific voicings that I found, and then it's moving them through different keys based on the modes. As an example, 157. Okay. Or 167 would be, oof, this is a serious stretch, but I like it. Or 756, I like that. So you learn how to play these cool voicings on bass, and you can use them either for bass chords, but you can also, once you get them under your fingers, they become options for fills. We go deep into that. Chromatics I take seriously. I don't just show you, oh, here, you know, just play some notes in a row. No, we talk about the importance of rhythm, because if you don't understand rhythm applied to chromatics, it will just sound like you're playing wrong notes. Then lesson 12 is for like the big boys and girls. This is like, unless you're into super out playing some deep harmony stuff, this lesson might not be for you or for me. But I really like it. It's really fun. It's just about harmonizing one note in a lot of different ways and using the new chords you create to create, you know, a composition or a solo, new set of chord changes. As an example, there, C could be the 7th of D flat major, or it could be the 3rd of A flat major, it could be the 6th of E flat major 6, and then you would use those to solo or create a song. But we go deep into that. It's not simple. And then lastly, playing through chord changes, so we don't sound like we're noodling. We are making beautiful solos that connect the chord changes and make sense, not just noodling eighth notes. Okay, and then example practice plans. This is really cool stuff on using Pentatonics to play over chord changes. Anyways, any questions, please put it in the comments. If you want to study with me, DM me on Instagram.com/celebritypedals. I got a bunch of courses and stuff. It's all on my YouTube page. But anyways, hope that was helpful. Bye.